We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India.
Good afternoon to all. I, Professor H.M. Patel from Shankar C. Waghela Bapu Institute of Technology, Gandhinagar. Today we will discuss about operating system and virtualization subject in that unit number 6, memory management. Outline of the subject that we will see in today's session, that is basic memory management. In that definition, logical and physical address map, memory allocation, that is continuous memory allocation, fixed and variable partition, internal and external fragmentation, and compositions. So before that we will discuss about that what is the meaning of process. So process, that is nothing but program in execution. So in introduction part, first thing is what memory management is the functionality of an operating system which handle or manage the primary memory. Next one, memory management keep track of each and every memory location. Either it is allocated to some process or it may be possible some process are the free. It check how much memory is to be allocated to the process and how much memory are at the runtime, that will be the free. Two type of basically address space will be there, logical address space and physical address space. So first things that we will see what is the meaning of logical address space. So an address generated by the CPU that is commonly referred by the logical address space, or you can say that is the virtual address. Second things, that is actual address when instructions are loaded into the main memory, that is called as a physical address space. The set of all the logical address generated by the program is an logical address space, and set of all the physical address corresponding to this logical address, it is considered as a physical address space. So that is what is the meaning of logical and physical address space that we have to see over here. Next thing, that is the one example will be there. So that is base register and limit register. So here with what is the meaning of base register and limit register. So over here that is given to you 400 base register is given, and limit register that is given to you, that is the 100. So in monitor, that is number of process will be available. So consider that your base register that will be the 400. So process 1 is will be started until the 100 limit. So 100 limit means what, 400 plus 100, it means what, total that will be the 500. So your process number P2 that will be the again executed. So one by one your process will be executed. That is protection using hardware. So with using this graph that we will see in this figure, CPU that is generated by the address, and that will be the check it out from the base register. If base register that is greater than or equal to, if condition will be fulfilled, then and then they will pass in the next instruction, that is the base plus limit register, and that will be the less than compared to the CPU address, then and then your memory will be assigned in the main memory, otherwise it will be the condition will be the false. Binding, that is divided into 3 sections. So we over here that we will see compile binding, load time binding, and execution time binding. So first things, that is compile binding. If we know that if compilation time at which memory location the instruction is loaded, then this type of binding is known as a compile binding. So basically that over here I have to mention one example. Your compile binding, that is compiler supply lead locatable address is equal to 1001, and time binding instruction that is loaded in the same memory. So whenever same memory will be loaded, so definitely your answer will be the same. So again your answer will be the 1001. Load time binding means what, when if we cannot fix at the time of compilation at which memory location the instruction is to be loaded, but we are deciding at time of loading a program into the memory, then it is known as a load time binding. Means what? In the load time binding, your allocation memory means that is 1001, that is address, and your instruction will be loaded in actual instruction, that will be the differ. So in this example, that is 1589. So both are the different things, fine. So it is considered as a load time binding, means whenever CPU will be allocated the number of address in same times, but your instruction will be generated in different location. So by default, that will be the answer, will be the change. Execution time binding, some special hardware will be required, and that is nothing but it is considered as a MMU, that is a full form is memory management unit. Dynamic reallocations. So dynamic reallocation, that is totally different from what we have to seen in previously. So the runtime mapping from virtual memory to the physical address is done by the hardware unit. It is nothing but it is the memory management unit, and this method is slightly different than the earlier discussion that we have to seen. Here the base register is now considered as a memory management unit. So one example will be there. If value of relocation register, that will be the 1000, and logical address, that will be the 200. So your physical address will be the considered as a combination of these two. So 200 plus 1000. So by default it will be the considered as a 1200. So with using this figure, in next slide I have to mention one figure. So based on this figure, you are knowing logical address is 200, and memory management unit, that is the relocation register, that will be the 1000. So after the combination of these two register, your physical address will be stored in the main memory. Next thing, that is the swapping. So what is the meaning of swapping? When we are executing more than one process at the same time, fine. So each of these process should be loaded into the main memory. Sometimes memory is not so large to hold each and every process to the solution of this swapping. A process, however, can be swapped temporarily out of memory to backing store, and then bound back into the memory again for the continuous executions. For example, if to load new process, if there is no sufficient memories available, then old process are swapped out and backing store to the new process in the swapping memory. This kind of the condition will be occur, and that is called as a swapping. So one figure will be there. In operating systems, main memory will be considered as a left hand side, and from right hand side backing store will be there, fine. So two processes are available in backing store, process P1 and P2. So right now P1 will be executed, but in process P2 will be coming. At that time process P1 are swap out, and process number P2 that are in the backing store. Roll out and roll in. So sometimes what happen, if higher number of processes are coming, fine, at that time lower priority process can be swapped back in, and once the process will be completed from the higher priority process, again roll in process to the lower priority process. So that is the similar as a swapping functions. Multiple partition allocation. So in operating system, that from left hand side to right hand side, we have to see that from left hand side OS, that will be the three partition of consider as a three process P5, or you can say that is a process number 5, process number 8, and process number 2. So consider that in next line, that is process number 8 will be completed. So process number 8, this portion, that will be the right now it is the free. So some process are maybe possible are coming in the memory management unit. At that time that we will assign this blank portion, fine. So consider as a this will be the free space available in our partition. So like this way we will assign each and every process that we have to see. And basically like three algorithm for memory management unit, that is mainly useful, and again that is the important part for the examinations, how we can assign first fit, base fit, and worst fit algorithm. So next slide that I have to mention one example. Before that I can tell you what is the meaning of first fit, base fit, and worst fit. So first fit, that is the allocated the first hole which is the large enough to the store process. Base fit means what? That is allocated the smallest host at the big enough. And worst fit means what? Allocated the largest hole among all the hole to the allocated number of processes. So one example will be there. In given example, the memory partition is given to you, and that is the algorithm place process is given to you, and based on that, which algorithm are more efficient for use of the number of memory. So that we have to, I can told you that 3 memory will be used: first fit, base fit, and worst fit. So which one is the best suitable in this example? So I have to mention, the given answer is what? 212 partition, that will be the put in 500k partitions. Again 417k, that will be the put in 600k partition. 112k is put in 300k partition, and again one process, that will be the waiting state. The reason is what? Because right now no partition will be available to fulfill these conditions. Best fit algorithm. So in this case is 212, that is 212k, that will be the put in 300k partition. The reason is what? Because it will be the require 212k, and right now from our side 300k partition will be available. So by default that we will assign these processes. Same way for the next of the process, and for worst phase it will be the consider as a whole partition, means big partition, that will be the assigned to the first process. So 212k partition, that will be the assigned 600k partition, means what? 212k, that is the process, and we will assign 600k partition. The reason is what? Because in earlier that we will see in the definition, whole number of processes are check it out, and big partition that we will assign in first partition. So basically like this way the worst fit will be the fulfill the condition. And again 4 to 6, that is 426, again that will be the waiting conditions. Next topic, that is fragmentation. So fragmentation can occur during memory allocation as well as during disk space allocations. So during continuous memory allocation we have free hole. So that is free hole means what? It is considered as a unused space in your memory, and that is considered as a fragmentation. So mainly two type of fragmentation. First things, that is the internal fragmentation, and second it is the external fragmentation. What is the meaning of internal fragmentation? So the size of hole is always greater than the memory and is required by the processes. Some of the portion of hole is remain unused, and this unused portion, it is considered as a internal fragmentation. So when the memory is divided into fixed size partition, consider that one example will be there: page frame in main memory, physical block on disk. So that is considered as a memory fixed size. If block of data is assigned to one or more partition, then there may be wastage of space in last partitions. External fragmentation. So during the continuous memory allocation, memory space that will be the divided into the smaller portion, and it is known as a hole. So we have to load the process in this hole, and this hole are varying size, means different size will be there, and to allocate the hole to the process and different algorithm techniques that we have to already seen in previously: first fit, base fit, and worst fit. That is the basic algorithm. What is the solution behind the fragmentation? So one technique to overcome the external fragmentation is computations. So the goal of this shuffle the memory content to place all the memory together in one large block, means what? Consider that is one not always possible with execution time binding, and if it is possible then must determine about the cost, and this scheme will be the very expensive. So competition means what? In before competition that we have to see in this figure, process P1, after that in between process P1 and process P2 some portion will be dark portion, that is considered as a fragmentation. Again same things for the process P2 and P3, that is some dark portion, again that is the considered as a fragmentation, means what? That is the unused memory. So in after fragmentation what happened? Process P1, P2, P3 and P4 are together, and remaining unused portion that are in the last stages. So that is considered as a how the fragmentation will be compact, and based on this technique that we will resolve the fragmentations. Thank you.